Hi guys! Thanks for tuning in to my first ever video blog. I'm going to try to show you guys today how I do my hair, like this. It's one of my most, I guess, frequently asked questions is how do you do your hair like that? What tools do you use? And what's the technique? And can you show me? And usually it's can you do my hair? So I thought I would do a video or attempt to do a video and show you guys exactly what I use and my technique so that you can get this similar wavy, messy, kind of bedhead sort of look that I'm usually wearing. So before I show you the technique, I wanted to mention a couple of things. First of all, I use several products in my hair that help me achieve this look. So after I get out of the shower with wet hair, I always use a volumizing like mousse or treatment, or I've used so many different ones and I love trying new products. So at the moment I'm using this one by Schwarzkopf. It's kind of glary, you can't really see. But this is a really kind of cheapy version and you can get it at the supermarket, especially if you live in New Zealand. You can get, like, I'm pretty sure I just picked this up at New World, and it's not expensive and I like it quite a lot for being a non-expensive product. It just gives your hair a little bit of texture and volume before you go to blow dry. So then after you've done your hair, blow dry your hair, and it's kind of relatively straight-ish. Doesn't need to be extremely straight because obviously we're going to do this to it, but it does need to be, it can't have a tight wave through it. So if you're someone who has really tight wavy hair, you're going to probably need to straighten your hair first before you try to do this. And you can do it. I have several friends who've got really tight curls through their hair, but we just straighten first and then do this look, and it works just the same and it looks really pretty. So this is what I put in my hair before I blow dry, and then after I've blow dried my hair and it's kind of straight and ready to go, I start the curling. The curling iron I use is one by Conair, and I use just a regular barrel iron with a clip. There's so many different tools out there that you can use to curl hair, to straighten hair, to get a wave, whatever. But I guess I'm kind of old school. I always have used one of these. I've never really liked a GHD. I don't feel like I can achieve the same look with a GHD, and I don't like those Cloud 9 wands, or I'm sure there's other brands that make a wand, but the ones that are like skinnier at the end and like thicker at the base, I don't like those. You won't get the same look with those. So yeah, I've literally had this for so long, like the writing is coming off the side, that's how long I've had it. But when I find something I like, I don't tend to really change, and I think this was probably like $25 US or something like that. They're really affordable and last for ages. I've seriously probably had this for over 10 years. But I have a hard time finding these in New Zealand, so I'll try to find some links for you guys for those of you who are in New Zealand and you want to buy one of these or try to get one. But this is definitely must have. You need one of these for this hair. So it's 1 inch around, which is also important. There's so many different widths that you can get in these, but you want the one that's a 1 inch. A bigger iron, so one that's say 1.5 or even bigger. It's not going to give you the same wave. It's too thick. So this is the ideal tool. So these have different heat settings as well. I always turn mine up right to the hottest one. You can't even read the numbers on my dial anymore because it's so worn out. But turn it up high heat, let it heat up all the way before you start, and it'll give you this look. And then the other thing I always use is tons and tons of hairspray. Right now I'm using, again, this Schwarzkopf one. It's called the volumizing hairspray. It doesn't have a really strong hold, which is important because if you get one that's too much of a hold, it's going to be too sticky and it'll weigh your hair down. It won't give you that like voluminous kind of fluffy look that you're going for. And then also I ran out of my favorite product right now, but I also really love texturizing sprays, like finishing sprays as well, especially at nighttime. I feel like they give like a really sexy kind of bedhead sort of look, and my absolute favorite is Bumble and Bumble City Swept. I don't know if you guys have tried that one yet, but it's so good, and I just love what it does to your hair, and I wish I could show it to you. It comes in a dark blue bottle. It's really pretty. I'll try to link it below if you guys want to try it and buy it, but it just gives a really piecey, kind of lived in, like, just a real sexy bedhead look, and I just love it. So I really recommend trying that if you can. But this is the finished product, so if you want to learn how to get this hair that I'm usually rocking, then keep watching. Okay, so for the purposes of time, I've already done one side of my head so you guys can kind of see what the waves look like before we go and mess them up. So I've just done this. They're cooling and they're quite curly at the moment, but we need them to be like this and to cool before we can kind of mess them up to give them that wavy, kind of messy bedhead sort of look that I usually wear. So now I'm going to curl the other side of my head so you guys can see how I do it, and it's kind of tricky doing this into a webcam, but hopefully it's helpful and you guys can learn how to do this. Okay, so I start at the front of my head, and I've got layers around the front of my face at the moment because I'm growing out a fringe that I had, which was such a big mistake. But anyway, so the front is always the trickiest part because you have to get your layers right and make sure that you're curling all the same length at the same time, if that makes sense. You don't want different length layers into one wave because it'll mess up the whole thing. So I start at the front, and I just take the section of hair that's in front of my ear, and it's quite a lot of hair, if you can tell, but I start from the bottom, so I'm going to section off this piece at the bottom, and it's about an inch thick, maybe a little bit less at the moment. But curl away from your face, so the clip goes on the top, and you hold it. Heating the mid-lengths really is what you want to do, and you just hold it, pull it through, and make sure you leave your ends out so they stay straight. Then you're going to take the next section of hair. Again, it's about an inch thick, and you can see how all of that hair is pretty much the same length. I don't have any like shorter pieces in that section of hair. So curling away from the face like this. You don't have to get too close to the root. I do tend to go a little bit closer because it gives me volume at my crown, which I like. I like volume on the top of my head. If you don't want that, if you really just want the waves through the bottom, you don't need to go that close to the root of your hair. So you hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then again leaving the ends out and just pull them through so that they're straight but they're not frizzy or anything like that. So now I'm getting into like the fringe bit of my hair. So most of these pieces are the same length. You can see there's like a few little longer pieces, but that's gonna be okay. So away from the face, holding it. You can see where I hold the heat for the longest is kind of in that mid length of the hair. And then if you're growing out a fringe like I am, curling these front bits that used to be your fringe is pretty important that you do it right, otherwise it'll look silly. So I never go too close to the root on my fringe, and just hold it and then pull it right through, because you don't want those pieces to be like extremely curled, and because they're around your face, you want that hair just to kind of fall around your face. So you don't hold it for that long. It's kind of a quick, just slide it through. And then you can kind of blend it in to the rest of the hair once we get to that stage. So it's the same technique whether you have long or short hair. My hair is short at the moment, but I used to have extremely long hair, and I've just always done the waves the same way. And it works for pretty much everyone. All of my friends will testify. I've done so many people's hair. They love how this look comes out. It's just so pretty and kind of messy, and It's just good. So I'll probably fast forward through some of this so you don't have to watch a 15-minute video. But it's the same thing. You just section off your hair into like 1-inch sections going all the way around your head, making sure to leave the ends out. And you can, when you get to this middle section of your hair, like behind your ear, you can start doing the curls different directions. So you can do some of them curling towards your face if you want to add a little bit of dimension to the back of your hair. But it's really important that the ones that you do around your face, you have to curl them back because it opens up the face, it opens up your cheekbones. It won't look the same if you curl the front pieces towards the front. I'm probably gonna laugh so hard watching this back, my first ever video. I hope you guys don't laugh too hard at me. So sometimes when I get to the top pieces, I'll take smaller sections of hair just to give it, again, it gives dimension when you get to that point. You start doing different sections, different sizes. So you can see that I always kind of pull my hair out to the side, especially when I get to the back, so that I can see where my layers are, and it helps you to section off the pieces. So the bottom layers can be a little bit thicker in width, if you will. It's not so important that those ones are an inch or whatever, especially with short hair like me. It's the top layers that really matter. That's what's going to give you the final look, really. It is tricky when you start getting to the back of your head, but you can use 2 mirrors if that helps, and I always keep like a hand mirror nearby so I can hold it up and make sure I haven't missed any pieces in the back, especially if you have short hair. It's easy to miss pieces. So like this section that I'm just taking is quite a smaller piece, and it'll just be a bouncier one. Again, it's all about the dimension when you want like messy kind of waves and curly hair. So I'm getting towards the back with my shorter pieces, and it just gets a little bit trickier. I'm liking my short hair these days, but I have to say curling longer hair is easier, especially if you're just learning. So be patient with yourself if you're just learning to do this. Practice. Practice makes perfect. I've been doing this to my hair for a long time. Sort of like my signature hair look, I suppose. But when I first started doing it, it did take a few goes to get good at it. Okay, so once I feel like I've done everything, I just look and I make sure I can't see any straight pieces. Like, see, there's a straight piece, so then I just grab it, pull it to the back. And twist it around. And you can grab random sections as well, like once you feel like you're done. You can grab random sections from like the middle of your head, and even if they are already done, you can just kind of pull them out and make sure they're waved how you would want. Like, I'm gonna redo that section a little bit. It's close to the top. Okay, so this is how it looks when you finish curling. My hair is also shorter in the back and longer at the front. It's kind of angled bob, if you will. And I have done pieces, especially on this side, I don't know if you guys can see, that are going that way versus that way. And you'll see when we kind of mess the hair up that it just gives it more body. It makes it look fuller and not so like perfect. I definitely don't really ever want that like perfect hair. I like lots of hairspray and messiness, and I quite often will use a texturizing spray. Out of my favorite one at the moment, I really wanted to show you guys, but I usually use City Swept by Bumble and Bumble, and it's not a dry shampoo, so don't really use it for that purpose. What it is a texturizing spray, and it just gives a lot of like lived-in texture, kind of makes it piecey, and I don't know, you have to try it. I really highly recommend it if you can go and pick some up. I'll try to link it below as well, so if you want to buy it online and try it. It's one of my favorite products, and of course, I'm out. But I really wanted to film this video to show you guys how I do my hair, and I hope you'll try it. And if you do try it and you take a photo, tag me on Instagram so that I can see that you guys are learning how to do this look. It'd be really fun. Okay, so it's cooled down a little. Today I'm going to hairspray first and then mess it up, and then we're going to spray again. I told you I like hairspray. So right now I'm using this volumizing hairspray. Again, it's by Schwarzkopf. Man, that's really glary. But it's not like a really strong hold. You don't want anything that's really sticky because that will weigh your hair down, and it'll just grip. It'll make them stick together. You won't get that piecey kind of messy look that I am trying to show you guys how to get. So just spray both sides lightly first. And I kind of always go like this to like work the hairspray in a little. And then once you start messing up the hair like that, you just want to shake it out. So scratch up the roots a little, run your fingers through it. You can flip your head upside down if you want. And then make sure you separate the pieces at the front too, because you don't want them to look so perfect. And then more hairspray. You can lift it up and so the hairspray like really gets into the underneath bits of the hair too. And then once you got enough hairspray, I say big hair don't care, you can just kind of play with it. And then because you have the texturizer in your hair and you've used plenty of hairspray throughout the day, if it starts to fall flat, all you really need to do is just go like that. My friends always laugh at me because I'm forever just going like this to my head. But it just gives it like a little volumizing effect if you're running around all day and you need a little volumizer mid-afternoon. That's all you gotta do, because you've prepped the hair with the products and it will just volumize. See, and I play with mine a little until I feel like it's where I want, but that is how I do my hair 9 days out of 10. And I hope you guys try it. It's fun to try new things with your hair. If you have questions or you want some extra tips or anything like that, comment below and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. But tag me in your photos. I can't wait to see how pretty you all look. Thanks so much for watching my first video. I hope you like it, and I'll see you guys soon.